What's up, guys? It's Camtendo, and today we're going to be going over some Pokemon Scarlet and Violet rumors, speculation, and leaks. And today I'm joined with my good friend DustyGogoat. How you doing, Dusty?
What's up? What's up, Kim? How's how I hope you're doing well. I hope the audience is doing well. What's up, everyone?
All right, like I said, today we're going to be going over some Pokemon Scarlet and Violet rumors. I am super excited. If you haven't noticed on the channel, I've had like 5 or 6 or 7 videos at this point going over what I think, rumors, and things like that. I'm super excited for this game. I've been cautiously optimistic for Legends Arceus. Not that excited for BDSP. I was excited for Sword and Shield up until the whole Exit thing that happened in June. I know you and everybody else can talk about that. Like that kind of, I was still excited because it was a new generation, but this kind of killed my hype for it a bit. But
Yeah.
like I said, we're going to be going over some rumors. So we got this one from 4chan. I'm going to read it out. It says here, hello, you may refer to me as Hungry Snorlax Munchlax. I had the opportunity to test the games, and I have a lot to share. By trailer number 2, you'll be returning to this post to keep tab of all the news I've had to share.
Oh
Let's
my!
begin with the starters. Huh?
This guy sounds like a
It
Pokemon
says
YouTuber. He's got a brand name and everything. That's how I picked my name.
Hungry Munchlax.
I just added an adjective
Dusty
to a
Gogoat.
Pokemon. Think about it, right?
I feel like if I had like a PokeTuber name, it would be something like, I don't know, like Clauncher or something like that. I don't know. I love water types, so I feel like if I were to have like a PokeTuber mascot, it would be something probably a water type.
Kim, you're basically a
Let's see.
PokeTuber. Honestly, that's
At this point,
when I
yeah,
refer to you. I say,
I'll embrace
"Oh,
that.
Cam, the PokeTuber who has a Mario-inspired logo," which is a sick logo. But come on, dude, you gotta be,
Yeah.
convert. You gotta be a PokeTuber.
At this point, I might as well say I am. It says here, let's begin with the starters. Sprigatito, to the surprise of many, remains on all fours and becomes Grass Fairy. Final evolution will have a minor gender difference, similar to Venusaur. What are your thoughts on that? A minor gender difference like Venusaur?
So the minor gender difference, I think it's literally just like it's the female Venusaur has a seed at the top in the flower, and then the male doesn't. This was in Gen. They added that in Gen 4 when it was like, they added that in Gen 4 when like they added all the gender differences for all the different Pokemon. To me, that's not, it's just like whatever. It's just like extra fodder for collectors. Actually, wait, let's go back because okay, so if it's gonna be on all fours,
Yep.
if Sprigatito is gonna be on all fours, and so Grass Fairy is cool. There was another rumor saying that Sprigatito was gonna be a lion, based on a lion, which actually the gender
Yeah, I
difference
saw
could be
that.
very cool because with lions, obviously, we know like we know that the gender differences is basically that male lions have a great mane, that iconic mane, and female lions are the hunters, and they're way more sleek.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I was gonna say it's kind of like Pyroar, because Pyroar is like that, where the female has
Exactly.
no mane and the male has a huge mane.
That would honestly be sick. That would be so sick. I guess that unless that continues with all of the other. Oh, actually, yeah. Look, the next line, buddy. It looks like a lion with a floral mane to the male. Oh, I swear, you guys were probably all reading that. I didn't even read that. I swear. Yeah, that's so cool.
I didn't even get to that part. I'm reacting to it as I read.
I looked
says-
down just to see if there was other gender differences for like the other starters, because I was gonna say like I don't think they would give special treatment to the starters, to one starter versus the other, right?
Yeah, but I feel like if it's a lion, like lions IRL and like even in Pokemon, lions have gender differences. So I feel like if they were to make a grass lion, they would kind of have to give it a gender difference
For real, yeah.
just to appeal to like zoologists and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. They're like Game Freaks bending over backwards. They can't give us good animations, but they'll spend millions of dollars appealing to zoologists. Yo, leave a comment if you're a zoologist.
I was going to college to be a zoologist major. Now
That's sick.
I'm like journalism and biologist.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
That's cool, man.
Let's see. Next, it says here. Next is Fuecoco. It becomes a tanky and slow quadruped fire ghost type. I saw this reigning theory that some people had that the starters for Legends Arceus kind of reflect on the final evolutions for this game, and I would say that we wouldn't get Fire Ghost two generations in a row, but you have to remember we got firefighting like 3 generations in a row. So I wouldn't really be surprised if they repeat a typing like again. But
It's
then
definitely
Fire Ghost will
possible.
become the Fire Ghost will like become the next firefighting meme.
I think Fire Ghost is like a cool type though. Like I don't think anyone would be disappointed by that. We're also like I think
Definitely
the firefighting, the sting of that was because like it was Gen 3 and then Gen 4 and then Gen 5. Like that hurts, you know? Like
Yeah.
that's literally like that at the time that was like 65% of all of Pokemon generations. I think at this point it's like a much smaller percentage, just 2 gens in a row. So but
Yeah,
Fire
honestly,
it's
I
such a
feel
good type.
like I feel like if we were to get another firefighting type, it's been a hot minute. People would probably meme on it, but I don't think they would be upset at it.
I'd be
But
into it.
I do know that I was gonna say I do know that this rumor is probably thinking Fire Ghost because there has been a theory that Fuecoco will become a ghost pepper or ghost chili pepper or something like that. So
That
I
rumor
can
is
see them
insane.
if he becomes a ghost pepper, that would be crazy.
That's so cool.
It says here,
It's
lastly,
like, yeah.
oh, you can go, you can go.
I think it's so cool, man. It's like it's like a play on words, but I guess maybe that's all it is. But like this, it's like the white face of Fuecoco. Just it's like it's a skull, right? And I know there's I think it's called the Day of the Dead. I don't know if that's actually in Spain or just in South America. I'm not really sure.
I think that's a Mexican thing, but I could be wrong. Like I can get corrected in the comment section, but I do know the Day of the Dead is it's a like Spaniard, like Spanish Mexican type Hispanic culture type thing. So that would be cool if it does become that.
Yeah, something that I heard
And also
was like
one thing I want to bring up. Oh, my bad. You can go. I was yeah, you can go. My bad.
it's your channel, man. So like,
right.
like something that I've heard just to add to this is like, even though this is based on Spain, this region, like there's Spanish-speaking countries all over the world. I don't exactly know if there's like if there's evidence, if we've already seen things from the trailers that say this, but you know, I think it's totally plausible for us to get other Spanish like cultural references,
Yeah.
even though they're not based in the country Spain.
I can see that because like I said, even in Gen 8 we got like Caparaja, and there are no elephants in the UK, but there are elephants in India, and even Caparaja's design is like Indian-esque. So we can get Pokemon that aren't native, like animals that aren't native to that specific country in that country as a mon. So it's definitely plausible. But one thing I wanted to bring up is how it says that Fuecoco will stay like it become quadruped, which is funny because it's bipedal in its first stage. And I've noticed this. I went back and I've looked at this. I've seen people afraid of Sprigatito becoming a bipedal mon because like Incineroar. But whenever it came to grass starters in general, that if they were quadruped, they would stay quadruped as they evolve. And like in Rowlet's case, it was bipedal and it stayed bipedal. But when it came to the case of fire types, every fire type final evo has always been bipedal, even with like Typhlosion and Charizard back in the early days. There's never been a quadruped fire starter, but there has like been like most of the not water grass starters have been, they always stick to their like first typings design wise. Like Venusaur, it stuck to Bulbasaur and it stayed quad, and same with mons like Trico to I can't remember
Grovyle.
I can't remember its name. So
Yeah.
so
Sceptile.
they all
That's
stay,
a really good
they
point.
all stay.
That's a really good point.
They always stick to that. Not the only exception to this is the water type because of mons like Oshawott like suddenly changing. And now I remember the interview they had when they came with that idea. They said that the designer for Oshawott went to a sea lion show.
Yeah.
While he was brainstorming for Oshawott's final evolution, he was like, you know what, I want it to be a sea lion, and that's where that design, that crazy 180 design came from. But when it came to like grass and fire starters, they always stick to being on one or two legs. So I'm not really I'm not really fearful of it becoming bipedal suddenly, because I don't think they would switch that suddenly. But yeah, and then it says here, lastly is Quaxly. It becomes a fast and menacing pirate duck, which I pray to God it is like that with a water poison type. And
The poison
I was
type's
not
interesting.
expecting. I can see that because pirates can be pretty, you know, dirty and underhanded. I feel like dark typing would fit, or
Yeah.
my ideal typing is like water fighting, but I feel like poison could be. I don't really see how poison typing would work with that. I don't know what the inspiration would come with that, other than the fact
So,
that like yeah.
what do you think? I do have an idea, but what do you think?
I was thinking something like how pirates can be pretty, I don't know, like dirty stuff like that, or
Yeah.
like they do like dirty. Like if I think of like underhanded, I think of dark type. I don't really think of poison type.
Yeah,
But
I
what do you
think
think?
that. So I would prefer Quaxly to evolve into a water steel or water fighting type. If it is a pirate base, the steel would be like a sword, right? Fighting type would be sword fighting or whatever.
Yeah,
But what if it is water poison? If we're gonna take this rumor for fact and it is water poison, this is a little dark. But like, I guess you could look at it as two ways. But like, they are dirty, right? They live on the ship for for months at a time, right? They're physically
yeah,
dirty and they're ill. You think of scurvy, right? Like that's a disease that you catch
yeah.
for not
That's
having.
gross.
Yeah, but then like even more so, like back in the day, this is just what would happen. You'd go to another civilization and germs would spread and just wipe through pot. This is dark. I mean, that's just like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
like the plague and things like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So that's
Like
kind of what I think of. It's dirty, but like, I mean, it kind of makes sense.
I can see that. I really do hope he becomes a pirate though. I kind of like the idea of him being like this
And
sailor
its
duck
hat,
that as he evolves. Yeah, his hat kind of looks like a little sailor cadet. Kind of like
yeah,
if you ever seen One Piece, he kind of looks like a navy like a yeah navy cadet.
yeah,
Like he's a recruit just now starting. I kind of feel like it would be cool if he kind of like has this story arc of dropping the dropping his navy attire and becoming a royal pirate. That
love
would be,
that.
to me that seems like a really cool like arc for him to go do because most like nowadays Star Revolutions kind of tell a story
They do,
versus back
yeah,
then where they just kind of like got bigger. Like Ashwat was kind of like a starting out samurai, then he evolves into a fully fledged samurai, stuff like that. And same
yeah.
with like I wouldn't really use like Tepic as an example because he's just a that that becomes a wrestler. But
I
something
think
more
I
akin
think
to like
Tepig's based on I think it's like Chinese, like a Chinese general. That's what Tepig's based on,
general.
they're with the fifth gen starters. It's like it's the America region, and it takes inspiration. Each of the
Yeah.
starters, it's either French, Chinese, or Japanese. So you have Japanese samurai. I think it's the Chinese
Yeah.
general is Embor. This is what I've heard. I think this is confirmed by the people. And then superior is like a French noble or a French.
Oh.
That's what I've heard. And then we ended up getting. Anyways, yeah, that's a detour.
If
But
that's if that's true. I was gonna say a prime example would be like Poplio because it was an entertainer and then it went through a of becoming an entertainer into a pop singer, I
that's
believe,
cool.
or no, not pop singer, an opera singer because Prime Marina's Z move is it doing an opera show and like
Yeah.
dropping a giant bubble on the opponent. So I can see them like coming up with a story arc for because honestly, he's like the only one that has like a little gimmick going on. I know that Fuecoco is a pepper and Sprigatito is just the attention-seeking cat Pokemon. So I can't like when it comes to those two, their evolutions can be completely unpredictable. But with Quaxly, you can kind of see him becoming like a sailor or a pirate, something
He
along
looks like
those
a
lines. I feel like that
sailor.
would be a
He
really
really does.
yeah, he does with the hat. I've seen people make like JoJo puns. He looks like he has a pompadour as well, which kind of screams JoJo to me. Next
So,
up, it says the you can go.
real quick.
Yeah.
Which of these starters are you gonna choose in the game?
Oh, definitely Quaxly. I always pick
That's
the water
awesome.
starter, and Quaxly kind of like. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of as much as I liked Sobble, I fell off with Inteleon, but I still kept him.
Yeah.
And I would like, I liked Pop, and I didn't really mind Primarina. But like the last water starter, I genuinely was like super excited to use was Froakie to Greninja, and definitely before that,
Yeah.
Oshawott to Samurai. Like those two seemed really cool to me. And even in Polygon back then, like the last two generations, as much as I liked them, they weren't my favorite. And Quaxly, when I see Quaxly, I see potential. I saw the same thing with Sabo, but we know how that turned out. And Teleon's a cool Amon and all, but he would like if I had to like if you were to put them in a tier list, I would if I wasn't such a huge fan of water types, I would have chose Grookey because I like Rillaboom.
For real, I got a bootleg plush of Sobble before Sword and Shield even came out, and I ended up not picking Sobble because I saw Inteleon, before the game came out, so I picked Grookey. But I totally know what you're saying. So I think, props on the Quaxly pick. You're one of the people who is always picking Quaxly in the polls. But I was gonna pick Sprigatito. Yeah. I was gonna pick Sprigatito. You gotta rep grass type. It's just so cute. But I think over the last few weeks, Fuecoco has really grown on me, and I think we'll see what they evolve into. That's usually when I'm going to make my decision, like, depending on what they evolve into, because that's what you're going to be stuck with most of the game.
Yeah, I'm not the type of guy that like boxes the starter as soon as I get it. I stick with the starter because I have a connection with them. Yeah. Definitely, if I weren't to choose Quaxly, Fuecoco is definitely my second pick. If they were on my tier list, it would be A tier Quaxly, S tier Quaxly, A tier Fuecoco, like B tier Sprigatito, because I love them all, but yeah, I would definitely choose Quaxly first because he just like he's like my aesthetic basically.
Where's Trico on your list?
Wait, which Trico? Oh, I meant Trico is definitely a B tier. No, not B. I would say A.
Yeah.
The only starter I would put low on the list would be Charizard. Definitely Charizard line. It's not even Amon's fault. It's Game Freak's fault for like shoving him down everybody's throat every generation.
Yeah.
I kind of lost it when he was like Leon's ace, because I was like, he has the pseudo on his team, and yeah, his ace is Charizard. Okay, I get it. I get it. Who are you gonna choose though?
Like I said, I either Sprigatito or Fuecoco. I just gotta wait. It out.
Let's hope those leaks come soon.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. Next up, it says the region's name is I'm gonna butcher this, but Aspigo or
Espigo,
which I don't.
Espigo.
Espiga. Actually, I wouldn't. I don't really know what the inspiration for that would be. Yeah, I don't know what the only, because I don't know if you noticed, but did you know that Galar was like the only region that didn't have like an O in it, which is like people thought that was like a bad omen, because it was the first region to not have an O in it, because like you had Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova.
Kalos was different. Kalos was the first one. Even Unova. No, Unova really shook it up, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, they conspiracy theory, like, this doesn't have an O in the name. That's a bad omen. All right, here's something I'm super excited for. Moving on to regional forms, Tauros and Miltank will get a regional form, with Tauros becoming a fire while Miltank becomes fairy. Other new Pokemon regional forms include Oricorio, Wobbuffet, Shroomish, Litwick, and Lotad. What are your thoughts on that?
No way, dude. That's so cool. Tauros becoming fire type. I think that makes sense, right? Like, there's like the bullfighting. That's like a whole thing in Spain. I really have no idea.
Yeah, it is. It's the Matador fights are like a big deal in Spain, but I do know some people aren't a big fan of those because it's like animal cruelty and things like that. But I do know that it is like a huge part, because I believe that's like when you think of Spain, you think of bulls. So I know a lot of people are hoping that Tauros gets a regional form. What if we just get a new Bullmon or like evolution for Tauros?
That'd be really cool too. Yeah, give it the fire type regional variant and then evolve it even further. It's cool that Miltank's getting attention. Miltank is literally, its whole gimmick is healing with its milk, which is that's kind of gross, but only if that was like in real life. But I think fairy makes sense, right? Fairy's all about healing in nature. It's like it's a nurturing type. That's what I think of. It's also like I mean, it can be also mischievous, but I do closely align fairy type with like healing in nature. So I think that's cool for Miltank as well. What we should get is a baby Pokemon to combine them.
Dude, I saw Ruffles' video today about a baby evolution that branches off into Miltank or Tauros. I thought that would be a really cool concept, because they are counterparts to each other, and I believe they're in the same egg group. Yeah. One thing I noticed when I like growing up, back when Fairy type got revealed, I saw that there are people saying that we need to get a light type. Then I realized that Fairy type is light type with just a different name and scheme.
Absolutely,
like Fairy type is a light type. Now, we were to get a new type, that's a topic for a different day.
Yeah, we can make a whole video. So, yeah, the thing with that is like we see like people. I think at the time, like 10 years ago, they saw dark type and they said, "Oh, it means like darkness," but it means evil, right?
Yeah.
And then light.
In Japan, it's called the evil type. Yeah.
Yeah, it's technically the evil type. It's not like midnight type. But anyways, so like people said, oh, we need light. And fairy is essentially, it's not light. It's not like daylight. What it is, it's like healing. So you have evil and then you have goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, for sure. These regional forms look really cool. Oricorio, Wobbuffet, they're really weird Pokemon. I mean, Shroomish and Litwick and Lotad, I can see those a little bit more clearly, what those might turn into.
The thing about Oricorio is that Oricorio already has a flamenco dancer form that a lot of people I saw on Twitter were like, they don't expect the other Oricorio forms to appear, but they definitely see they can see the flamenco forms showing up, because that one was literally inspired by Spain culture, so it makes sense for it to suddenly just not appear. I get that its entire gimmick was that it was on I think it was Akala Island or Ula Ula. I believe it was Ula Ula, because I know the ghost type Oricorio was on Pony, and the cheerleader one was on Mele Mele. But I don't remember where the flamenco one came from. But I do know that it definitely needs to be in this game, and if not that, a regional variant would fit. But since Oricorio is already 4 different types, I don't really see it.
Yeah, I do agree with you. The thing I'm thinking of is like, how would they implement Oricorio? Would they make the Spanish dancer, it's like base form, and then there's like a 5th form that it can turn into, which is the new regional form? Is it only that like I'm trying to think of the lore of the Pokemon world, right? Like if those Pokemon exist and they're native to Alola, if one of them came to this Spanish region, would it only turn into whatever the flower is? So could you only get it as a single type, whatever this new, because it's based on a flower, right? Or would it be like a new base Oricorio, and there's 4 regional forms of each of the 4 that exist? Like, I don't know how they would do this. It just seems too confusing.
Think about it, Oricorio in itself is like a regional variant that's like within a region, like its origin region. Like it has 4 different variants of itself. So I can again, maybe if the flower that's on, I think it's either a Akala or Ula Ula. Maybe if that flower is also native in this new region, and that explains why there are so many flamenco dancer Oricorios dancing about. That could be good lore wise. I don't really see any other reason to make a regional form for it, considering that we already have 4 forms for it, and again they're each different aesthetic and type. So making a new form wouldn't really make sense, especially if the flamenco dance, which again originated from Spain, isn't in this game, but a new form of it is. That kind of sounds counterintuitive if you ask me. Like they already have myself. So
yeah, I agree with you. Like, even, dude, Wobbuffet is so weird. It's like, what are you even going to do with Wobbuffet?
Yeah, the Wobbuffet one is really confusing to me. I can understand, like, Shroomish or Litwick or Lotad, but, like, Wobbuffet, I don't really know what they, like, Wobbuffet, I thinking about that, I don't really know what they can do with it, unless they make it, like, because isn't this whole thing, like, it can reflect, right? What if they make it, like, a ground type?
It's based on a punching bag.
Yeah, they can make it like a ground or rock type, kind of like Carbink. Like, I know, because if I remember correctly, I'm playing through Y right now, since France and Spain are so close to each other. I'm playing through Y right now.
That's cool.
And I know you can find Wobbuffet in Reflection Cave and Kalos, but it, like, in it itself, it's not a ground or a rock type. So maybe they can give it a rock typing and make it like make its body like reflect the player, like its entire setting. It can actually reflect things, like a mirror type thing going on.
Yeah,
that would be a really cool thing.
That's really cool. And I don't think. What is mirror? What is that material? It's like, is it sand? Is it really refined rock? Like, what is it? I think that's what it is. I think it's like super polished rock. That's cool.
Yeah,
man.
And you can again, I really just came up with that on the spot, because I really, like, other than that, I can't really see them doing anything else. Like, I don't really know how, like, a grass or fire type Wobbuffet would be. And again, on Shroomish, I can definitely see that. Shroomish, I know it's fighting grass, right?
Yeah. Yo, here's an idea. actually, maybe this doesn't even make sense. But I'm thinking, like, what's the opposite of Wobbuffet? Not to go back to this, but, like, instead of something super bulky, you have something, like, just, like, massively offensive. Like, it becomes the arms. It becomes the arms that are punching the opponent rather than it being the punching bag. Anyways, yeah, Shroomish is sick.
I know. I was just gonna say, imagine they make like an inverse to like Miracle, which is like if like Miracle Wobbuffet's like already like a super broken mon. If they make like something that's equivalent to that, but like offensive, I don't know how to make that work. But if they do that, and for this new, if this is like hypothetically speaking, if there is a new regional Wobbuffet, this would make it really good mon. Because Wobbuffet's already good. It's just weird.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Shroomish, I love Breloom. Shroomish and Breloom, I would love to play playing through Emerald using this Pokemon. Lotad as well. Like, these are really cool Pokemon. I could, in my mind, think of all the different things that they could become.
When I think of Shroomish becoming something, it's still a mushroom, and like mushroom or fungus. And when I think of fungus, I think of like decomposers and toxic things. So I can see it becoming I can see it losing fighting and becoming poison, or wait, technically, grass types like fungi aren't considered plants, so it can lose the grass type and stick with the poison type. And I mean,
like another type, like fighting type. Electric or something. Like maybe it like the poison paralyzes opponents. Maybe it's like you could just go in like any direction with it, right?
Yeah, they can. That's a cool thing about stuff like this, is that it can go in any freaking direction. But Shroomish and Litwick's a candle, so I can't really. What would they do with a candle? How would they change a candle?
I mean, I want to say that they can make it like a light bulb, but that's Rotom.
Yeah, that's.
I guess Rotom's a motor rather, but what they could do is they could, like, if I did a Google search of like hit like cultural Spanish like candles, I'm sure there's like a specific look, right? Like they could go the really basic route and instead of being fire ghost type, maybe it's fire fairy type or fire something else type, right? Maybe it's made out of steel, maybe like right, and then they just make it visually look more Spanish or whatever it's based on. They could do that because Litwick is pretty. It's like it's a candle. That's what it is. It's a candle that evolves into a chandelier. So I mean, that'd be cool.
Fire typing though. But what if it drops the fire type?
That's true.
Yeah, else? That's
true.
Like I believe Litwick's whole thing is that it's like a wisp that like captures people's souls to like light its flame or something like that. So they could like lose the fire type and then give it like a different aesthetic, kind of like what they did with not Galarian but Alolan Ninetales and Vulpix, because it was based off of the QB, which uses like the QBs associated with like fire and things, but they completely like ditched that for the typing. So they don't necessarily have to stick to its origin, but rather what they can base it off of in Spain or Portugal, since this is a combination of both. And maybe for Lotad, oh my bad, you can go.
I'm just thinking like maybe we're talking about like Scarlet and Violet being past and future. Maybe Litwick is the past, where the new regional variant represents the future, and then it's electric ghost type.
That would
and it could be like a lamp.
Yeah, that would go for a good excuse to like get both of them, because you like anytime we have a game with regional variants, there's always a way to get the originals, with the exception of Legends Arceus. Well, you could get the original Sneasel, but I don't know about the other regional forms. But
no.
But in Galar, you could get all of the original forms of the Galarian forms. Like I believe it was the gems. You can go to trade NPC. There was that lady that would trade you a Galarian Meow for a Alolan or a regular one. And there was that one trainer that wanted a Galarian Yamask for a Unovan Yamask, things like that. So they could implement that, and maybe they can, like you said, they can make it past and future based, and you can go and get either or in the wild. But I feel like that would kind of play into like FOMO, and people are like, oh, I have to get both versions because I want the new thing, not the old thing. But
everyone wants everything.
There's no telling. Yeah.
The Lotad
rating, so
yeah,
no,
I know. Yeah, that's sick. For Lotad, I think of this one image of like a Ludicolo. It pretty much turns into a frying pan. That's what I've seen. And then Ludicolo is the chef. Like he cooks things inside.
I think I've seen that before.
He cooks
that
things.
Image.
Yeah, because they have like a dish on their right. Like instead of like a lily pad, it's a dish.
Yeah.
So it'd be like fire steel type maybe, or fire grass type. I think that'd be sick.
That would be actually pretty funny to see, because like every generation does need that one joke Pokemon. I feel like
yeah,
that would be really
that's what I'm
funny to
saying.
see,
Yeah,
like a frying pan Lotad. Like would it be just pure fire or fire?
Fire
it would be
steel?
fire
fire rock,
steel,
maybe?
or like fire. Well, dang, that would make it really bad. Because look at Colossal.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Colossal
they don't make
really
Pokemon whether or not they're good or not. Dude,
Yeah,
Colossal could have
you're
been
right.
good with its ability. It could have been good with that. What is it? Steam eruption or no? It's like steam when it gets hit with a water move, which 9 out of 10 times is gonna kill it. If it lives, its speed goes +6, which is amazing. But dude,
It's such a risky bond to use though.
yeah, definitely.
All right. Oh, this next one. Regional evolutions make a return. Dratini gets a
Nice.
regional form from Dragonair and evolves into a new Pokemon called Dragonail. What Pokemon would you Dragonail? That sounds punny. But what Pokemon would you want to see get a regional evolution?
I mean, I'm happy with this. If Dragonair got a regional evolution and the evolution is like keeps the color palette and it looks more serpentine than Dragonair. I mean, than Dragonite. That'd be very cool. But which Pokemon off the top of my head, like Gogoat. I would love to see an ice rock type Gogoat or not an ice type. I'm thinking of like a mountain goat, and then it evolves even further. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Because in Spain there is I mentioned this in my top 10 Pokemon I want to see top 10 animals to be a Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There is a mountain goat Pokemon. It's an ibex, the Iberian ibex.
Damn.
And they have like these crazy huge horns that the goats have, like the males. So like I said, I mentioned that it can either be a regional form of Gogo or a Numon entirely, and they are mountainous goats, so it can be like a rock type goat for Gogo. That would be a really cool regional evolution for Gogo, because
Bro.
Gogo eats love.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Say that again for the people in the back. Dude, Gogoat is right there in Kalos. They just need to bring it over. It just needs to cross the border and then evolve a little bit differently.
Oh, you're right, because there are it is separated by a mountain region. Gogo, and yeah, since it being right there in the mountain, imagine if like you can like
gotta
not
do
necessarily
it.
go to Kalos, but yeah, like not necessarily I would say go to Kalos, but like there's that mountain region separate. If Kalos is there, there's like that they're separated by a mountain. Imagine you go to that mountainous area and you get to see the regional form of Gogo and its evolution, and also Skiddo, and they can take it a step further and be like Legends Arceus and make them rideable. That would be amazing.
That's sick, dude. That's so cool. That's so cool. I picked the wrong mascot at the wrong time in history.
I mean, if there is
I
a
want my
reason to go,
mascot to be. Yeah, I'll have to rebrand.
I was gonna say, yeah, you'll have to change into the regional Go-Go for the like the duration of the Gen 9 hype cycle.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Another mod, but come on, I want to see get a new evolution would be. I don't know if you caught on to this. I feel like they're gonna start this new thing where they take like. They started this with Gen 7 with regional forms, but they always give us the regional rodent, and then they take a past rodent and give it a new form. So for Gen 7 we got Rattata along with Yungoos, and for Gen 8 we got Zigzagoon alongside Squavit. So I feel like this time around since they skipped Gen 2, like we might get Sentret to go along.
True.
And give it a new evolution, because Sentret is nobody talks about Sentret and Furret.
I love
like
Sentret.
Imagine
People talk about
Sentret
Furret. Furret's that
Sentret.
that meme, right? Like Furret walking until Gen 4 remakes.
The escalator meme. I think they changed that to Furret. They like when the Gen 4 remix came out, they made it to Legends Arceus. Now I think they changed it to like until Scarlet and Violet, but
hell yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they can add they can give it a new form on top of that, give it a new evolution. That would be amazing. And again, we can show some Furret love and give it a cool new evolution
For real.
That Obstagoon treatment.
And so this is like, so it's, I think it's called the Scout Pokemon. It pretty much hops up on its tail to like look into the distance to see if there's like enemies coming by. I mean, I want to ask you and say like, oh, what type do you think it's going to be? But based on the track record, it's most likely going to be normal and dark type, just like those two other rodents.
Oh, I didn't even notice that they became dark types. Like
That's all they are.
Like
dude.
I knew they were dark. I knew
Yeah.
they were dark types, but I never made that connection. They could make it fairy type and just like stop
Fairy
the
type would be
cycle
cool.
because we thought
Yeah.
we were gonna get a new evolution in Gen 9 and we not Gen 9 Gen 8 and we didn't, and we like for that time we thought that we were gonna get a new evolution every even number generation, and Gen
Yeah.
8 kind of broke that cycle. So they could like break cycles split. They also broke the Chinese zodiac rumor with Fuecoco. So
True.
they're like destroying traditions with this generation that we only had one trailer.
I really want to be the grumpy old man who says, no, they have not broken the Zodiac theory yet, because we don't know what this thing's going to look like. And I've seen so much cool fan art turning Fuecoco into pretty much a snake that has arms, which we've seen before with Superior.
Yeah, with Superior,
let
yeah.
me just say, or maybe it becomes a dragon, right? Who's to say they can't
That's
reuse? They probably have like a 40-year plan, and they're saying, well, if we continue with the Zodiac, we're gonna run out, so we might as well start doubling them up so the fan base can keep the theory, the fun theory, right? They can keep the fun theory, but
I was gonna say I love the idea of him becoming like a Quetzalcoatl. That sounds like such a cool
Yeah.
idea.
that would be
Peppers
amazing.
don't have legs.
That would be amazing.
Peppers don't
dude.
have legs, so
They don't. You're right.
and
That's hilarious.
yeah, all right, my bad. The last bullet point says that the new gimmick isn't Pokemon Fusion. I don't know why people would think that. Interrupting that, I feel like if Pokemon Fusion became a thing, we would no longer have a use for Pokemon, like new mons in general. Like I feel like I know Fusion worked with Kyurem because that's part of its lore, and same with Necrozma because it absorbs Solgaleo Lunala, but like other than that, I don't really see Fusion working for any other mon unless it's a part of that mon's lore, if you get what I'm saying.
No, I disagree. I mean, I kind of agree, but I disagree. I think at one point, Fusion will become one of the main gimmicks. I don't know if it's this generation, but I think it totally makes sense. They've like you said, like Fusion has been part of Pokemon for a long time. Not just in the main series. I mean, definitely in the main series, but also within the fan base, also within the manga, also within the anime. Fusion's been there, and I think it could be done properly. But I agree that it can't be done it almost needs to make sense. I don't want the DNA of these Pokemon to be like breaking apart and then combining and then unraveling again. That's not how I see it. I see it as like a humanoid Pokemon riding a horse like Pokemon, right? That's the most basic example. Or something mechanical like Magnemite and Kling going together for a little bit, right? That makes sense to me.
My theory on how I think it could work if it only two specific mons, like how Mega Evolution was like it was only a certain group of mons that can evolve. It's only, like you said, only Kling and Magnemite can become like this cool like clock Pokemon or something like that. Like only these two can become a mon. What mechanic would you like for them to see? I know I didn't finish the rumor, but the rumor pretty much says, for example, combining moves. They say that their gimmick is like move combinations.
Oh, I like that.
Like an electric
Move fusions.
Yeah, it says. Yeah,
That's
it says
cool.
like thunder. It says a thunder type, for example, quick attack and thunder evolve into an electric quick attack. I never even thought about move fusions.
So that's something
That seems
that's
like a really cool thing.
So that happened in the anime, and I'm actually wondering right now if they got this from the anime, right? Hopefully it's real. There's a scene of Ash's Swellow. This is the Gen 3 era. Ash's Swellow is
Yeah.
It's either using Quick Attack or Aerial Ace, and Pikachu is on top of it. It's a double battle for a gym battle, and Pikachu uses like Thunder or something, electrifying Swellow and electrifying the attack.
Yeah, I remember that episode. They could make that work because I was thinking about this with a friend. We got Megas, right? We got Megas in Gen 6, then we got Z moves in Gen 7.
Yeah.
And then Gen 8 came with G Max and D Max, and it kind of seemed like a combination of megas because there were certain mons like I remember they're like they mentioned I don't know this my memory could be just playing tricks on me, but I remember they said that the point of Z moves was that every mon had like their own fighting chance. Like with megas, it was like gated off to like these certain mons, but with Z moves, any Pokemon
Yeah.
could use a Z move. And the same thing applies to Gigantamax and Dynamax, but they kind of combine the two together because when you Dynamax, you get max moves, which were basically Z moves, and then when you Gigantamax, they get a different form. On
Which is
top
like
of that, they got
megas.
their own signature. Yeah, they got their
That's
own
really cool.
signature Z move. I mean, a G Max move, which is basically a Z move. Like with Lapras, they got that G Max move that made Parasong basically come into play. And like with Toxtricity, its like when its G Max move it had like a 50% chance of either paralyzing or giving you poison. So they gave them like they made Dynamax and Gmax like a perfect blend of both Megas and Z moves, which is what I'm like super curious about what they're gonna do with this Gen 9 mechanic because we know we're getting a mechanic because we see it in the Japanese logo. So I'm just really curious as to what they can do because they did Megas, they did Z moves, and they did a combination of both. So unless they take that a step further, I don't really see them bringing back Dynamax because that's a part of Gen 8's lore that it only exists in Galar. But I can see them doing something similar, not necessarily growing Pokemon big, but like a mix of Megas and Z moves that can give all Mons a fighting chance because I don't think they want to go back to Megas for the sheer fact that it was kind of gated off.
I totally agree. Yeah,
Certain
I totally
Mons.
agree with you. I think that's
Like,
such
as
a
much as I
huge
love
aspect.
Megas.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
being able to apply the new gimmick to every Pokemon, because like that way they don't need to like give you a Lucario, right, or give you one of the starters. They can just like say this is the feature. It applies to everything. I think that you're making some great points, man. That's really true.
Yeah.
So maybe Fusion's not like that, or yeah, I don't know.
Again, I don't like if they do mute. Like I feel like if they do fusions and if it's gated off to like only these certain groups of Pokemon can do it, that'll like alienate that, and that's like against what they want to do. But if they do say move fusions, that's something anybody can do. Like, and I feel like with move fusions, it won't have to be just like two Mons like ended up a battle. It can be like you have like a Seismitoad and it knows Earthquake and it knows Surf. It can do like a underwater earthquake or something like that, or
We've kind of seen this before with some other combination moves. I know like Thunder and Rain Dance. That's like one of the OGs. But there's even more complicated, specific moves that kind of combine like this. It would be
Fire Pledge and Fire Pledge and
yeah,
Glass Pledge.
exactly. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. So they really could do that. That would almost be cool because, like you said, like it could apply to any Pokemon. I mean, not every Pokemon, but
Yeah.
you know, it's a huge move pool. It's like if you know Ember, you can do this move, which a lot of Pokemon can learn Ember.
Right. I feel like if it's move fusion, that could give every mon a fighting chance because every Pokemon
Yeah.
has access to like moves of this a different type. Like some Pokemon can learn moves that type moves that's not even their initial type. Like
Yeah.
Charizard can learn dragon type moves despite not being a dragon type. It's fire flying and stuff like that. So I feel like
true.
I couldn't really think of any other mechanic other than like something to do with abilities, but I don't really know how that would make that work because Z moves acted as a fifth move and also essentially a nuke button for competitive play. I didn't really play the Gen 7 meta because of that, but yeah, I can see them doing something like that with the fusions.
Yeah, ability would. I'm not. I have to think about that a little bit. Ability, like an ability gimmick, because we have the evolution gimmick,
Yeah.
we have the move gimmick, we have the. I guess. I mean, Dynamax is like you said a mix. I like fusion. I like. I'm thinking of a held item type. A held item based gimmick where it's more like an armor form, where it's like. Rather than just giving it like charcoal to boost fire type moves, you're giving it a specific armor type of ability, and what that does is basically change the physical appearance of the Pokemon, but it can be applied to anything. So if you give it like, let's say like the helmet item, pretty much that armor form, you can see it's got more padding on its head, and it like highly increases maybe like I don't know, special attack while increasing defense. I don't know. That'd be really cool, honestly. They could do a lot of cool stuff with that.
Well, like you said, this is your headcanon, so.
Yeah, man. That's yeah.
But
Anything I say
pretty much
goes.
covers it. That pretty much covers it for the rumor, I believe.
Sure, man. Dude, it was so much fun to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, same to you, dude. I really had like a lot of fun. Like, where can my fans find you?
Dude, DustyGogoat.com. That's not true. YouTube.com/DustyGogoat. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all DustyGogoat. I even got a Twitch page if you want to follow it, but I live stream on YouTube, so stay on YouTube.
I also have a Twitch page that I don't use. I should try TikTok though. I have
TikTok's
one,
fun.
just don't really use it for content.
It's fun, man. I was able to build up, meet a lot of really great people on TikTok. It's a great platform, man. The outreach is incredible.
Well, yeah, like I said, it was really good having you. I'm really glad that you allowed me to be your channel. Which again, if you guys want to see part 1 to this, you can check out Dusty's channel. And again, this will be linked in the bio. And yeah, I'm really glad you were able to be here.
Thanks so much, Kim. I really appreciate it. We got to do some more. I got a whole list of rumors right here. We're gonna have to get together and cover some more in the future. This was so much fun.
Hopefully, yeah. This was really fun. I'm really glad to have Dusty here, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Bye.
Bye, guys.